Welcome to our channel. My name is Tracy and I'm the keeper of our home here at 4D Farms, where we're all about faith, family, home, and farm. Y'all come on in and see what we're all about, because we want our channel to encourage you and inspire you on your journey. If you see something that you like, please give it a thumbs up, hit that like button. That helps our channel grow and reach more people. If you want to subscribe, and if you think other people can benefit from our videos, please share them. Y'all, we hope to see you in each and every video, and most of all, thanks for watching. Hey y'all, welcome to today's video. Y'all, just because I'm on a work trip doesn't mean that I still can't enjoy some kind of bread that I can make for myself. And y'all, that my 5-minute no-knead bread recipe that we've been making and doing all those wonderful things with, I rely a lot of times on that bread dough, especially when we're traveling. Because, y'all, I've got to the point to where I have just started putting this in my suitcase with me. Okay, this is the book I was showing y'all at the very beginning of the bread making series for the 5-minute no-knead bread dough first, and all the things that you could do with it. Y'all, I have been playing around and just coming up with creations. I've been doing some new things, and I'm going to show you something today that I have started implementing and doing, and it has made another big difference. And I'll show you what I'm going to do today. But y'all, if you have this book, and if you've been trying some of the recipes in this book that I recommended to y'all at the beginning of this series, y'all let me know what you've been trying, because we're going to do some more out of this book. We're not done with that 5-minute no-knead bread yet, okay? Even though we've been diving into some other yeasted breads and kneaded breads, doesn't mean I'm done with this one, because like I said, I rely on this one a lot when I'm traveling, because this is just something quick to put together. I can do it in an air fryer, or if we're staying somewhere that has an oven, okay? I just throw this in my suitcase, y'all, because since this is a no-knead bread, y'all, I don't have to rely on a stand mixer. I can't chunk that in my suitcase, although I'd love to, but I can't chunk that in my suitcase. So this book and the knowledge of all the things I can do with this dough follows me on work trips, because I can still make us some bread on the road, okay? And I don't have to rely so much on getting things at the grocery store, because I've been playing around with stuff in this book, and I'm loving it. That gets me to my next point. Do y'all remember the video I have of us in a hotel room, and I made that bread that I called Cobotta bread in my air fryer, and it had all that stuff on the top of it, y'all? Number one, I need to go back and make a disclaimer. That was not Cobotta bread, and I apologize. I knew that that bread had some C's in it, or had a C in it. But for some reason, that name popped into my mind, and I called it Cobotta bread, and I apologize. That's not the name of that bread. The name of that bread, that particular bread, according to 2 different Italian women, and y'all don't argue with them because they know the names of their bread, okay? It's either, you can pronounce it 2 different ways, because I've heard 2 different Italian women pronounce it these 2 different ways. It's either called Focaccia or Focaccia bread, okay, or Focaccia. Y'all, I've heard it pronounced 3 different ways by 2 different Italian women. So we're just going to call it Focaccia, okay? I like the ring of that one. I like the sound of that one. I like the way it rolls off the tongue. Okay, so we're going to call it Focaccia bread. That is the name of this bread, okay? And we're on a work trip, as you can see, and I have an oven this time, so I don't have to do it in the air fryer, okay? We're going to put some different toppings on this one, and I have a better pan. I went and bought one just specifically for this bread, okay? And yes, you can do it on a sheet pan, you can do it on whatever, but I wanted the little perfectly square little loaf, okay? And we are going to try to do this one in an oven this time, little less toppings, because y'all, I think I had that bread a little loaded last time, and I went a little overboard on my toppings, so we're gonna go a little less this time, not load it so much like a big jamma mama, okay? So we're gonna go a little lighter this time, different toppings, better pan, in an oven this time, and we're gonna say it right, Focaccia bread, okay? So, and then I want to point out some things while I'm enjoying my coffee before I get started. Let me wet my whistle just a minute. Because y'all, I'm having to wake up again. This is my second cup of coffee for the day. So I'm having to wake up a little before I tackle this bread. But y'all, I'm highly recommending this book. If you want a simple, quick, no knead dough, you can do it anywhere. Use it for anything. I recommend this book, okay? It is in my Amazon store under my kitchen essentials list. I always link my Amazon store front link in the description box below the video. Now, which brings me to my next point. I think about the third point I want to make. I have been playing around with this bread, as I said, because this is the easiest one, y'all. I can't throw my KitchenAid mixer in my suitcase, but all I got to do is bring this book, buy the essentials when I get to our place, and then just start whooping up some breads and having fun. So, I've been experimenting another method with this bread, and I'm going to show you in a minute what I've done. And it has made another big difference because I started playing around with it. Y'all, do not be afraid to try some different things with this bread dough, because we're going to play with our food, okay? We're going to play with our dough. I have not got the courage yet to just dive off that deep end with sourdough, but I'm researching it, y'all. I'm researching it. I have got on this journey of different methods of bread, different breads, different flours, different leavenings, y'all, I've just been on a bread journey, because I'm going to tell you something. I love my bread, okay? And y'all, bread is biblical. I'm just going to tell you. Bread is biblical, and I think I've stated that in one of my videos, okay? Bread is biblical, and if I haven't stated it, I'm probably going to get around to telling you, okay? All right, brings me to this point. Like I said, I haven't just taken the plunge yet about sourdough, but I'm researching it. I'm eventually going to try sourdough. I may like it, I may not, okay? Because it's a little maintenance, okay? Little scheduling time has to come into play with sourdough, okay? Some of these may have a little scheduling time, but that's okay. I can work that into my schedule. But it might be a little hard for me if I get a sourdough culture started, or a starter. It's a little hard for me to travel with it, okay? And keep it at those temperatures, and then constantly throwing it in the refrigerator, getting it back out of the refrigerator. And I know you can do that. I've been researching, y'all. And one of these days, I'm probably going to be like that little engine. I think I can. I think I can. I think I can. Y'all, I may plunge into sourdough, okay? Before this is all over with. I'm not quite there yet, but I want to show y'all another book, because I've been implementing with this same same no knead bread recipe, 5-minute no knead bread recipe. And I'm incorporating another method that I'm fixing to show you. And it has made the bread structure come alive and so much different. I have also got another book. My husband bought this for me. And y'all, for some reason, I put it up and the timing wasn't right. But I've gotten that baby back out. This is another book. Flour, Water, Salt, and Yeast. Who is this by? I don't have my glasses on, y'all. Ken Forkish. Forkish. I've also got this in my Amazon store link. And it's the fundamentals of artisan bread, which is exactly the same as this one. His dough recipe is the same. But y'all, he wanted to study artisan baking from the French side of things. And it had some of the methods in here. Like I said, y'all, this dough kind of mimics sourdough. But there is y'all, I got to put my glasses back on and my eyes are starting to hurt. If it glares, I apologize. See, it's glaring. I apologize, y'all, but we getting old up in here. I got to have my glasses, okay? Oh, I can see y'all better. Hi. Okay. By the way, if y'all are seeing me for the very first time and you are just jumping in on this video and you're like, who is she and what does she want? I'll just tell you. My name is Tracy. I am the keeper of my home at 4D Farms, and I am in the middle of a bread making series on my channel. Our channel is all about faith, family, home, and farm. Homesteading, homemaking, parenting, marriage, gardening, canning and preserving, old-fashioned skills that just stopped being passed down from generation to generation. I'm trying to bring a lot of those back because a lot of it's what I grew up with, okay? And we might better need to be getting back to some of those things. But my name is Tracy, okay? Welcome to my channel, okay? Y'all, if y'all think I'm crazy in this one, y'all ain't seen nothing yet. Okay, so, and I am also the author of 2 of our family blogs at 4dfarms.wordpress.com and 4dfarms.blogspot.com. If you like a readable version, go check those out. I'll get on my email list, okay? This book goes along with this one. He's got a few different methods in here, y'all. More mouth-watering recipes, but there is a particular method in here that I wanted to try. Y'all know this 5-minute no-knead bread. Let me wet my whistle again and wake up. Y'all know this bread dough is a very hydrated, sticky dough. When you mix it, you'll remember when we mixed it at the very beginning of my bread making series, we started out with this 5-minute no-knead bread. And it's very sticky, very tacky, okay? You don't need it. You need it, but you don't Knead it, okay? It's a no-knead bread. But, y'all, I have incorporated a method from this book and a sourdough method that is just kicking this one up a notch. If you like the tacky, sticky dough, and then you get it out, and you run it through the flour and all that, and then you shape it and everything, that's fine, okay? And you don't have to knead it. But I've incorporated just a little technique called stretch and fold, which is the same thing that they do with sourdough, to not knead it per se, kneading it, but just a light stretch and fold method that works a little bit of gluten and the protein in it and gives you that stretch and that pull without full force kneading it like you're supposed to knead regular dough. And I've incorporated this method, y'all, and I think it's going to make a big difference. I got up this morning, I mixed up the dough. I've already done some of it, and I'm like, I really need to show this. So I got up this morning, I quick mixed the dough, okay? I set it in a little warm spot and let it hang out and do its thing while I went grocery shopping. Y'all, I got back, I put a tea towel over it. Y'all, I got back, and it was smelling yeasty up in here. And y'all, my dough had already risen to the top, fermenting, risen to the top. And my tea towel, it was sticking to my tea towel. That's how it went. Okay, so I had to get the tea towel off, get some of the dough back, and then cover it with plastic. Okay, but then I did the first 2 stretch and folds, and I'm going to show you what it's doing to this dough instead of just mixing it up and leaving it that tacky, sticky, dough-like looking, okay? When I got home, I took the tea towel off, and then I just wetted my hands, which I'm fixing to show you again. No flour. I didn't add any extra flour. I wet my hands. I reached in there and just started making like a little dough ball and stirring just a little bit. Pulling it away from the sides of the bowl really is all I was doing. I wasn't working this dough, okay? And then I started the stretch and fold technique. And I've done this twice. Lightning. It's fixing to come a downpour here, y'all. Okay? So, if it thunders really loud and I get a little scared, y'all just hold my hand and we'll make it through this. Okay, so I've done this twice. The stretch and fold, I'll show you the technique. They do it with sourdough. And it's part of thundering. It's part of the bulk ferment process, which, y'all, this man explained a lot of things that was really like, what in the world are they talking about? He breaks down a lot of the terms in here that I was like, what is he talking about? And y'all, few sourdough techniques are in here. He explained a little of that too. But the stretch and fold is where you just get it away from the sides of the bowl. I'll show you how to do the technique. And you're going to do this, like, you can do this every 30 minutes. You can do this every hour. But you're just going to slightly work the dough to give it a little more stretch, shiny, texture, and gloss. And work that gluten without full force getting it out on the counter and giving it what for and kneading it, okay? As my mama would say, give it what for, okay? So, I'm going to show you how we're fixing to lightning, y'all. Woo! I'm fixing to show you what we're fixing to do. I'm going to finish my coffee, and then we're just going to go gather in the kitchen, okay? I will see y'all in just a few minutes. All right, y'all, we're back. I got an apron on this time, y'all, because, y'all excuse my dishes in the dish drainer because I have been working on getting dear hubby some make-ahead breakfasts together and for work every morning where, y'all, I can send him off to work and know that he's fed, okay? And he doesn't skip meals, okay? So, I got my kitchen cleaned and everything. I'm fixing to get ready for my bread. And this is the pan I'm talking about, y'all. I'm fixing to grease this. I'm not going to line it with parchment paper or anything. I'm just going to baste some olive oil. I'm going to paint some olive oil in my pan, and I wanted this pan right here. It's also non-stick, okay? Just to make my life easier, okay? Because there's nothing worse than having a bread to stick in one of your pans, and it just tears it all to pieces. Okay, this Focaccia bread, okay? We're going to call it the right name this time. I'm not going to load it up like I did the last one. I just want a few things on it. I am going to put a little bit of spinach, okay? A little bit of spinach. I'm going to, y'all, capers. When they invented, God knew what he was doing when he invented these things. Capers. I love it in bread. I love it in Italian food. Yes and amen. On top of pizza. Okay, y'all, this bread dough, I made the whole recipe this time. If you have the book, or if you go back to that first recipe, I believe I put the recipe, the ingredients in the description box. Okay, I don't have it memorized, y'all. I did make the whole recipe for 3 pounds, which is going to be like 1 pound little loaves. Okay, just depends on what you use it for and how much you use, but you're supposed to be able to get 3 loaves out of that one big recipe. Okay, tonight we're going to make some focaccia bread. Then another night, we're going to make something else. But I'm also going to be using some of this dough to make my husband some little mini pizzas to have for lunches some days and take to work with him. So, y'all, this dough, you can use it for anything, okay? We're pairing this focaccia bread tonight with spaghetti, okay? That's what he requested. I don't have an elegant meal tonight, so he just wants some spaghetti. I'm surprised he didn't say sloppy joes, but y'all know what? It's on the menu plan right over there. I don't have my little dry erase board up yet, but y'all, that's 2 of the main things that he just wants. That's his 2 favorite meals. So I'm like, okay, give me something to go with here. Give me something I can, just put with it and make it extravagant. So we're going to make some focaccia bread tonight. So as I said, I got up this morning and I mixed my dough up. And then I covered it with a tea towel, let it hang out, and it did its thing all right. When I come back from grocery shopping, y'all, that stuff was touching the top, and I had to peel the tea towel off of it and then do my thing. I'm fixing to show you, and then cover it back up with plastic wrap this time. Y'all, this is the second time. After two stretch and folds. Do y'all see that? It's already touching the plastic wrap. It's right there, y'all. Y'all see how it's not that, it will probably still be that wet, tacky, sticky dough, but look at that gloss, y'all. Do you see the gloss? I'm working the gluten just a little bit without kneading it. Let me show you what I'm talking about. We're going to save the plastic, y'all. Let me show you what I'm talking about, stretch and folds, because this is a sourdough method, okay? So this, ooh, it's jiggly. Let me show y'all how jiggly it is. Let me get y'all down here where you can get a gander and you can see what I'm doing, okay? Let's get my camera, my tripod. It's that little tripod, y'all, that just wants to start spider walking on me, okay? Okay, I'm going to take my jewelry off first, y'all. Oh, and we're going to set it somewhere safe. Take this off. Now, this is what you want to do. You want to start with wet hands, okay? Not floured hands. I'm going to keep the water running just a little bit because I'm going to have to keep watering my hands. This keeps it from sticking to you. This is what I'm talking about. This is going to be the 3rd time. Look at that puff, y'all. Look at that. Y'all, I am happy with this method. I love doing this. It has fermented. All I'm doing is scraping it away from the edge of the bowl. This is the 3rd time I've done this. Y'all, it's releasing that gas, those air bubbles. The gluten is trying to work. I've got gloss, I've got stretch, and I've got shine. Well, gloss and shine's the same. This is what I'm talking about, stretch and fold. You're going to take a section, raise it up, stretch it, fold it over itself. Turn, pull up, stretch, pull over itself. Turn, pull up, stretch. Look at that, y'all. Look at that stretch. It's not that wet, tacky, sticky dough. Look at this. Pull up, stretch, fold over itself. Y'all, you leave this setting one more time. You do this about 4 or 5 times every 30 minutes. Oh, look at that. Here we go, y'all. And then you can get to where you can do it one hand. Look at that stretch. Like mozzarella cheese, y'all. Look at that stretch. All right, stretch and fold, kind of like a sourdough technique. All right, now what I'm going to do, I am going to grease my pan, baste my pan with some olive oil. Then I'm going to just gather me a chunk of dough, and I'm going to spread it out in that pan and show you what I'm going to do next. Let's get this off my hands. But you don't want to start adding a whole bunch of flour to it, okay? Because y'all, remember this 5-minute no-knead bread is a very hydrated dough. It's not going to, and what I mean is, let me explain the difference. Hydrated dough is wetter. It doesn't have like a bunch of flour in it that makes it dense, okay? And it creates a different crumb, okay? This is a very hydrated dough, as you can see. Now, different from your kneaded breads, where the dough, the flour is incorporated so much and kneaded so much that it's like a less hydrated, not as tacky, not as sticky. That's a less hydrated dough. This is a hydrated dough, a more hydrated dough, wetter, tackier, stickier. But y'all, the crumb and the texture is... Okay, I'm going to baste my pan with olive oil. And then I'm going to get out my dough. And you know what? I'll just let y'all see me do that. Okay, we're going to do this together. I'm going to baste. This is a new bottle, so I got to pull the tab. There we go. All right, I'm going to baste. And y'all, if you'll remember when we made this before, this is the bread where you create the little indentions in the dough. And then you make sure those pockets get filled with olive oil. Since this is going with spaghetti, I am going to use olive oil. If you wanted to use a different oil, just know what you're using it with. Okay, so olive oil just goes with spaghetti, y'all. Okay. Another night, we're going to have a form of pasta, and I'm thinking about making some kind of Parmesan breadsticks to go with it. Y'all, I'm going to get multiple uses this week off this one bread dough. And you remember, this stays in the refrigerator till you get ready to use it. All right, I'm like a little kid. I'm just painting away. Okay, I'm going to get a little of that. I'm going to get a little of that oil on my hands too, y'all, because you can use water and you can use oil to keep it from sticking. Let's get a pinch, like a softball size. Y'all, I'm loving this. It's easier to get out. I don't have to have the little scooper. There we go. There we go. Let me get a little more oil. I want a little more than that, so I'm going to get, maybe I didn't get a big enough size. Okay, we're just going to, ooh, y'all, I've worked, that is elasticy, y'all. Okay, I'm going to push that to the side. I'm going to cover that back up here in just a minute. Let me get my hands hydrated, y'all, because I don't want this to stick. So let me get my hands hydrated. Also, y'all, If your hands are warm, your dough is going to be, it's going to be heating up, warming up your dough some too. Okay, here we go. I'm just going to spread this out, y'all. Let me get just a little bit more. I want to fill up this pan. This is probably going to be like the pound loaf. Okay, I want to fill up this pan. I got to keep the water on, y'all, because I'm going to have to keep hydrating my hands. I want that oil in these pockets, y'all. So you're going to stretch your dough, press down. Okay, I want a little square loaf here. Press down. Let me get my hands wet again. You want to press down. Okay. Now, I'm going to give this a rest for like maybe 10 minutes and let it start bubbling up. You'll see it start bubbling up in just a minute. Or it'll start just trying to start rising again, okay? Then that's when we're going to go through and take our fingers and make the indentions to where we can drizzle that olive oil into those pockets. So let me cover this up with a tea towel. I'm going to be prepping some spinach, getting the stems off. And I'm going to be getting me some rosemary and some thyme. I'm wanting to put some fresh rosemary and thyme on this bread. So I'm going to have to cut me some off and get that prepared. But let me cover this up with the plastic right quick. And we're going to let this hang out for like 10 minutes while I'm getting everything together, okay? So we're going to set this over here. And I'll cover this one up because this is the one that's fixing to go in the refrigerator. Because now when you're not using what's left, this is when you put it in the refrigerator. So let me dry my hands, get my dough in the refrigerator, get this one hanging out over here. And then I'm going to be prepping some things and cleaning up as I go because I have a small workspace here, y'all. So I'm going to be cleaning up as I go and getting some things ready. Y'all see my fresh rosemary? I've got fresh thyme. Okay, so I'm going to get these prepared, okay? So I'll meet you back here in like 10 minutes. All right, y'all, this has rested, and this is about all the bubbling that it's going to do because I did the stretch and fold method. If I hadn't have done the stretch and fold method, when this rested for a little while, there'd be more little popply bubbles in here, and then you would see the difference. But I did the stretch and fold method on this one this time, and I think it's going to make a big difference. I've also got my oven preheating between 400, 425. Y'all, you can do this at 375 if you want to. Okay, it just depends on how crispy you want the bread and crunchy. And I'm not going to be doing the steam version on this one to give it that crunchy outer edges. I'm just going to go with the no steam method this time. Maybe next time I make this, I might do the steam method. You remember the steam method is where you have another pan in the bottom of your oven and you pour like a cup of water into that pan right at the same time you put this in here to create that steam and then give it that crunchy outer crust. But I'm wanting this to go with some spaghetti, more like of a bread kind of version to go with spaghetti. So I'm going to do the no steam method. So let me wet my hands. We're going to create those pockets, those indentions. Look at there. We're going to create those indentions. Okay. Now, I'm wanting the olive oil to go down in those pockets too. It's already trying to go back together. It's okay. Y'all, I have rosemary smell on my hands and it smells so good. I put my olive oil up. Let me get it back out. Okay, we want to drizzle olive oil. Not pour, but just kind of drizzle Y'all, this is going to be an olive oily kind of bread, okay? That's what focaccia is. Okay, so we're drizzling. I want to carry it to the outer edges. There we go. Then you want it to go down in there, and you're going to do it again. Okay? Let it go down into those bubbles. All right? Rinse my hands because now I'm oily. This is going, focaccia bread is an oily, olive oily kind of bread, okay? Now we're going to start putting our toppings on it, okay? And this is since this is an olive oily kind of bread, this is another reason why I'm not going to use the steam method. So, I want to start with my capers. Whoop, I didn't mean to drop that many in one spot. I'm going to have to spread those out. And then even when we get all of our toppings on here, y'all, we're going to kind of press it down in there again. Y'all, there is so many things I've been trying with this bread. I have actually done some breads where I have done some add-ins like cheese and jalapenos. All right, I don't want a big chunk of olive, okay? So we're just going to see how I just kind of kept the toppings to a minimum this time. Y'all, go big or go home, y'all. But this time, I'm going to just lightly put toppings on it, okay? I'm not making a pizza. I'm just making a focaccia bread, okay? I'm just going to fill in some little spots here and just make it look pretty. My oven's preheating. And as soon as it gets preheated, then we'll put this in the middle rack. Now I'm just getting some little roasted red peppers. I'm going to spread those out and just make it look pretty. Y'all don't have to put the same toppings on it. Pick your toppings. You can just use herbs and oil if you want to, okay? But, y'all, you just kind of put some things on it and it just makes it look so much better and taste so much better. But I'm not going overboard, okay? Like I did the first time. That thing looked like a pizza last time. I just love bread, y'all. I love souping things up like Emerald Lagasse. Bam! Did I scare y'all? Y'all, it was lightning and thundering so bad a while ago. I was getting a little scared. Dear hubby's going to have to drive home in this. Okay, now, I think I want the herbs next. Y'all, you don't have to use fresh herbs. You can use Italian seasoning if you want to. I just love fresh herbs, y'all. And it gives it so much flavor, y'all, using fresh herbs. But by all means, if you don't have any, use Italian seasoning. You can just use oregano. You can just use rosemary. Do whatever feels right to your soul, okay? Or, you know what? Whatever you can afford, okay? If you can just go get that bottle of seasonings, that's fine, y'all. I'm just so happen to have bought these. I had some basil, y'all, but basil is one of my favorite herbs, and I've already used all the basil. Okay, so now comes the time. I want to get some in those corners, y'all. Fresh thyme. Oh my gosh, y'all, this is smelling. I love that rosemary and that thyme together. Okay, now I'm just going to sprinkle my spinach on top. Now see, when I did this in the air fryer last time, the wind was so strong circling around in the air fryer that y'all, my poor little old spinach or basil was just twirling around in there like a tornado. So this time it won't. I'll have to probably just stick to oven when I make focaccia. Okay, now we're going to do the same thing again. Just kind of pokey, 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 okay? You want to get some of this stuff down in the bread, not just sitting on top. There we go, y'all. Now, oh yeah, let's see. Let me wash my hands, and I'm going to sprinkle with, y'all, I'm going to kick it up another notch. You don't have to do this, but y'all, I'm extra. I'm going to do a little bit of everything bagel. You can use sesame seeds. You can do without. I just want to do it. Everything bagel. Just a teeny tiny bit. And then just a little bit of Parmesan Romano cheese. Just a teeny tiny bit, just to give it some Italian flair, y'all. Just a little bit, not much. Okay, there you go. All right, y'all. When my oven gets preheated, I'm going to put this in the middle rack in the oven. 25 minutes. Let it do its thing. We'll see what it looks like when it comes out. Time to take this bread out now, y'all. I want y'all to see what this turned out to look like. Do y'all see that golden brown color? The crunchiness? Now let's get ready to cut into it. Do y'all see the air bubbles? How thick it got? The crunchiness of it? Do y'all see what that texture looks like? Look at that bottom. Do y'all see what the texture looks like? Chewy, crispy. Y'all, I hope y'all give this bread a try. And I hope it turns out fantastic for y'all. Thanks for hanging out with me. Thanks for watching this video. I hope y'all give this a try. And we will see y'all in the next video.